Hey, what's up? John Sonmez here. So I got a book review for you guys today on a book a lot of you have been asking me to review. It's somewhat of a controversial book, but I thought I would review this book because it is a book about seducing women, attracting women, right? Seducing women, written by a woman. So that's kind of interesting, right? So a lot of you wanted to know my take on this book. And so I went ahead and went ahead and read this book. It's called The Noble Art of Seducing Women by Kezia Noble, and it says My Foolproof Guide to Pulling Any Woman You Want. And you know what? I actually thought this was pretty good, right? I thought that the advice in here was pretty decent. Essentially, what the book is so Kezia is a trainer for like in the pickup community in London, I believe. And she has her whole story about how, some guy kind of like worked some magic on her and she didn't know why it worked, and then she started to understand why, and she went over to these trainings, and then she actually started becoming a trainer herself, and she started her own company helping guys to basically learn how to interact with women, how to get women, right, how to attract women and whatnot, basic kind of pickup community type of stuff. And and anyway, she tells her whole story about that, and then she talks about how, like, her unique perspective of being a woman, she kind of knows what works and what doesn't work. And I think it's kind of interesting because a lot of women I've talked to that sort of give this kind of advice, they don't really know it because they don't really know what's actually going on in their mind. They can't like take that one level of separation, but Kezia actually seems to do that, right? So she starts off and she makes it kind of systematic, and she handles a lot of the problems, right, from approach anxiety to conversation. In fact, I'd say that a good portion of her book, like if you're looking for conversation stuff, is she's got these like 9 conversational hooks, and she talks about how to use these hooks within a conversation to be a better conversationalist, which is sort of probably the biggest problem. Is a lot of you guys, I think you have a problem with approach, right, with going up and talking to girls, and that's something that you can overcome just by sheer will, right? Like if you just go and you start doing it, right? And I tell you guys all the time, if you want to do this, you just got to do it, right? A lot of you guys that I coach, right, I just send you out there. I'm like, go fucking do it, right? And that's really all that someone can really say about that is like, you just got to sack up and just do it. Like there's no other, unfortunately, there's no magic. You're never going to feel comfortable doing that unless you do it, right? And so you have to do that. But after you get past that, then that conversation part, that's where a lot of people fall off. There's kind of this chasm here before there's actual results. And so she fills in that chasm very, very nicely, right? And so I think that, like, I didn't find anything in the book that I disagreed with. I think she's got a really good sense of masculine and feminine behavior and why the different things work and what actually makes a man attractive to women, right? Which is that confidence, that boldness, that sort of mystery, and just being able to be that character, right? Which is requires you to have that kind of self-confidence and to be comfortable, to be real, right? To be yourself, right? A lot of people say be yourself, but it really means being the best version of yourself and being the kind of yourself that you don't care what other people think, right? So it's like, can you talk passionately about what you're passionate about, or do you feel like you might look like an idiot doing it, and so you're going to carefully guard your words, you're going to carefully guard what you're going to say, only try to say cool stuff. You see what I'm saying? She covers a lot of that and why that's kind of bullshit. She also has, some things on the whole, what she calls, I think she calls it like the table or the frame, like essentially like where you've got, your voice, right? The critical elements, right? So how you're projecting yourself, what is your voice, your tonality, okay? What is your stance, right? What's your body position, right? Are you like this, right? Are you, like this, like, are you nervous? Are you moving your hands a lot like this, playing with your hands, twirling your thumbs like that? Or are you comfortable? Are you spread out and comfortable in what you'd call like a power position, right? And being comfortable like that. So she covers all of those things and really gives you kind of a step-by-step approach that I think would work for most people. Now, I'll say this, from experience and just from coaching a lot of you guys, is that you still got to put this stuff into practice, right? You're not going to read this book, as good as this book is, right? You're not going to read this book and suddenly become a magical pickup artist and be able to pick up any woman that you want and have her go home with you. It's not going to happen, okay? But what could happen is that you could read this book, you could take these tips, you could practice this stuff and put it into action, and it could work for you, right? So, again, one of these things, a lot of people that watch this are going to be like, oh, why are you advocating this shit, John? This is not good. Like, guys shouldn't be doing this. And then this is bullshit and wrong and whatnot. But this is all, you know, growth, like personal development, growth. Like if you're a guy and you're unable to procure for yourself a woman, if you're unable to do this, you're not going to feel like you're a real man. You're not going to. So you've got to be able to knock this part of your life out, right? So understanding, learning some of these things, again, it doesn't mean you have to devote your life to this kind of stuff, but understanding this, I'm in support of it. I'm in support of becoming confident enough to go and talk to girls, like to go and do that, to go and have conversations, to go and to have that confidence within yourself that you can do this kind of stuff, right? And anyone can, right? Honestly, you can. But, you know, that the journey of doing that, of becoming that person, is definitely one that will cause you a lot of growth as a guy. It really will, right? You know, women don't have to struggle with this same thing, but as a guy, you know, and so again, as I said, this is a good resource, I think, but you have to put things into action if you're going to have success. But, you know, go check it out. Again, it's let me give you the name of the book. It's Kezia Noble. The Noble Art of Seducing Women, and yeah, it's a pickup book, I guess you could say, written by women, and it's actually pretty damn good. So go check it out. All right, if you haven't subscribed already, click that subscribe button below. Click the bell so you don't miss any videos. I'll talk to you next time. Take care.